Hello everyone, and welcome to this kind of solo episode of Galactic Reviews, as I am yet the only one to watch and finish Disney Plus's Hawkeye series, and the only one who is planning on finishing it as far as I know. I thought I would just do a quick little mini review of my thoughts on the 6 episodes. Heads up, half of this is probably going to be, or at least the first part is going to be spoiler free. I'm just going to talk about my general feelings on it, not in a therapy way. And then the second half is going to be spoilers and certain events that happens. So if you haven't seen the series, I'd probably avoid that. But yeah, let's jump right in. I enjoyed it. It's a good series. I had really liked seeing more of Hawkeye. I really liked seeing the introduction of Kate Bishop. This series gives you a lot of insight into kind of how the blip and the after effects of the blip happened and kind of how they messed with people in their lives and their families. It also is a great look into the point of view of people who have seen the heroes and the inspiration they get from that. We obviously know Kate Bishop is training to being set up to become kind of the next Hawkeye hero. So it's easy to assume that she saw Hawkeye and was inspired to be like him ever since. It was a good series. Nothing can top the Infinity War saga, in my mind. So everything that Marvel will be doing past that is just gonna be subpar. That being said, I really enjoyed this. It was just a fun, enjoyable, episodic adventure. Good fight scenes, good acting, I laughed. Just fun, nothing really wrong with it other than it was just post-Infinity War. So yeah, as far as just enjoyment, I'd give it a solid 7. It wasn't show-stopping, not my favorite Marvel show. It's just nice. And now, on to the kind of spoiler territory. I have to give it up for Yelena Florence Pugh showing up in episode 3 or 4. We know at the end of Black Widow, she is hired to assassinate Clint Barton. On the flip side, the show's about Kate Bishop, and it's about Hawkeye. We find out that Kate lived in this penthouse with her rich parents that got a hole blown in it by the Chitauri during the first Avengers movie, but she was saved from getting killed by another Chitauri attack by Hawkeye. He was shooting arrows, he was jumping off buildings, being all heroic, and it completely inspired her to become this prodigy. She was widely known by many to be one of the world's best archers. Even though she was only senior in college by the time the show picks back up with her. She was like a black belt in karate and won. She has so many skills that she just grinded for. But she was also a little mischievous. She was both rich and young, which made her think she was invincible, which is a theme that gets attacked during the entire show, where she's just reckless and thinks she could do anything because she's young and hasn't failed yet, but she does fail quite many times. She stumbles into a black market auction at one of these rich charity events, and while she's investigating, she realizes that the Ronin suit, which we know is Hawkeye, the Ronin suit and the sword are being sold, and that black market auction gets interrupted, and she puts on the suit to both kind of escape and make sure that her uncle, which is in the art auction, stays safe and makes out alive. I like her. She's a fun character. It's really nice to see her grow, because at the end of the series, she goes from, I'm going to be a hero, to I don't think I'm a hero, to being called a hero. She grows greatly just through the trauma that she experiences throughout the show, with her failing and messing up and having to clean up her own mess. Hawkeye, we see him, he's with his family in New York, just on vacation. He's supposed to spend Christmas with them, but that kind of gets interrupted because he gets pulled back into the Ronin. He needs to kind of make sure that, 1, this childish girl is safe, and 2, that he just needs to clean up his mess that he made as the Ronin, because it's still following him. So yeah, he gets stuck saving Kate Bishop. She's, of course, starstruck and wants to be kind of act like his partner, but he obviously was like, no, you're not my partner, just kid, I'm cleaning up her mess. And then later calls her his partner, because that's what she becomes. And it's growth for both of them. I love seeing more of Hawkeye and Clint Barton, because, in my opinion, throughout the Avengers series, we don't see much of him. We don't see much of what he's like before the whole Infinity War. We don't see much of what during or after. He's just kind of there. We don't get much of his background. We don't get much of how things are affecting him. We get snippets here and there, but we really see the toll that his life as a vigilante, almost of sorts, as an assassin of this trail of blood that he's carried with him, has affected him. He's just not depressed, but he's deeply scarred. He is not a happy man, but he has family and he has love and he has happiness in his life. And he learns that he is a hero because he doesn't see himself one, but Kate teaches him that he is a hero even if he doesn't feel like one all the time. And it's good development for him. Initially going into the series up until episode 5, I thought this was going to be Hawkeye's send-off. It was showing a lot of how much he missed spending time with his family and love-hate relationship he has with his job, saving the world and killing people. But it doesn't end like that. It doesn't end with him passing on the mantle. It ends with him in a mentorship position over Kate, and accepting that position as well. Yelena pops in, comes to kill Clint, but Kate is always in her way, and they've got a ton of fun banter. Yelena is such a fun character, and the way she's portrayed has a lot of great lines, very funny. And she just has this deep hatred for Clint because from what she knows, Clint is the reason that Natasha isn't there. And it takes a brutal fight and it's kind of a heartfelt convincing of Clint just saying, I couldn't stop her and I wish I could, but Natasha. And eventually she decides not to kill him because she realizes it wasn't his fault and that they both love Natasha very much. It's very nice and sweet, and she just kind of runs off. Big, giant plot twist comes out that Kate's mom is the one who hired Yelena to kill Clint. Whoa! That was like at the end of episode 5. It was phenomenal. And then episode 6 came out of the blue, I believe, with Kate dealing with that, because her mom is of the person who is hired the assassin to kill her hero. And then we find out that the man pulling the strings behind the gang that is trying to kill the Ronin, who is after Kate and Clint because they were associated with the Ronin costume, because no one knows Clint is Ronin, is being led by none other than Kingpin, and the same guy from the Daredevil series, which was like a showstopper when that came up. It was phenomenal. It was at the end of episode 5, I believe. And Eleanor Bishop, Kate's mom, was also a business partner with the Kingpin because her husband, who died, owed him a massive amount of money. So she was kind of grandfathered in when he died. But she decided to get out because she was realizing that her business was getting too close to Kate, and she said, none of that. Like, when you work with Kingpin, you can't get out. So the final battle was Kate and Hawkeye trying to save Kate's mom, and Kingpin showed up. And we got this simultaneous battle of Kingpin versus Kate and Hawkeye versus Yelena. I think episode 6 was my favorite. Very funny, had a lot of just good combat and fun arrows, and we saw the growth from both characters finalized. It was just very satisfying ending. One thing I didn't really like is that not only did Kate, this amateur hero, if you can even call her that at that point, she got away from a full-on fight with Kingpin. So you could argue she even beat him in that fight to get away, which, knowing Kingpin, that doesn't quite make sense. I feel like he had the chance several times to just smash her skull, and he didn't. He did say a line like, know your place, or you're out of your league. He doesn't care about killing. He doesn't care about collateral damage. But from what I've seen of him, he's brutal. He just doesn't hesitate to kill anyone who gets in his way. And it just doesn't make sense that even with her training and skills that Kate should have been able to beat him and get away, which she did. So that's kind of if they did it in more of a she caught him by surprise and knocked him unconscious, got away. No, it was a full battle where she was getting thrown around, but she eventually managed to use one of the trick arrows to blow him out of the way and knock him out and then get away, which is just a little off to me. Other than that, great series. Final spoiler, Kingpin gets shot. Well, we know that Maya, the one who had a familial revenge for Hawkeye, the Ronin. She was trying to get Ronin because he killed her dad, which is why she was chasing Clint and Kate to find out who the Ronin was. She found out that Kingpin was the one who gave Ronin the information about her dad, and was kind of the one who hired the assassination of her dad, even though they were the same gang, and then raised her after that. She was just hurt and angry, and so she kind of found him after the battle while he's just limping, and she comes out and pulls a gun, and while he's arguing, screen pans away to a different kind of street or whatever, street view, and we hear the gunshot. But that's it. Knowing Kingpin, he's very sturdy. But we don't know. We don't know if he died. We don't know if she got him. We don't know if he somehow dodged or grazed him and he took her out. We don't know. We'll find out later, I guess. Ends with Eleanor being taken away in handcuffs because Kate does the hero thing and puts her mom in jail, as much as with tears in her eyes. And then Kate goes with Hawkeye to his family for Christmas, and he did make it Christmas morning with a red-eye flight, and it's just kind of all resolved. We did find out at the end that this watch that was very important, and for some reason it was also on the black market auction, and the gang had it. Apparently it was a very big identifier and had a tracker in it, and we found out that when they flipped it over, it had a shield agency, the shield agency logo on the back of it, and it was apparently Clint's wife. And I don't know if they've revealed this before, but that was kind of revealing that she was a shield agent, and that's probably where they met before. It was very good. I enjoyed it. Ended on Kate throwing out different names like Lady Hawk, and Hawkeye going, "That's stupid." The only thing I wish I could get out of this show that I kind of didn't was more of that Avengers musical that they showed in the beginning and the end. That was catchy. I'm a musical theater nerd. It was just a lot of fun. Yep, thank you for listening along. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing kind of some more of these with the stuff I'm watching. And make sure you check us out on Audea, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts if you're seeing this on YouTube. And if you're listening to this, go check us out on YouTube. It's fun to see our faces and our facial expressions and my over-the-top movements. In other words, I will see y'all next time.